Welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking out the time to join us on our webinar today. My name is Farhana Chaudhary. I'm an applications engineer with Electro Industries. And today I'm going to be giving you guys a sneak peek of our upcoming latest product in the Shark metering line, which is the ST40 energy and power quality meter. So introducing the ST40, this ST40 is a really compact energy and power quality meter that can be used not just to measure your electrical power information, but also advanced power quality information and then deliver it over modbus or DNP serial communication. So the real inspiration behind the design of this ST40 really is its compact design for those tight spaces and machine monitoring level where you don't have a panel where you can actually put a panel meter in, but also your apparatus, your equipment is really critical and you do want to get all of that information, not just for energy usage, but also power quality. This is really the perfect meter for those types of applications, for those tight spaces. It's got a very small footprint, but it will give you all of that powerful data that you will need. In addition to the load profiling, its power quality capability is not just basic information. It will actually give you waveform captures of up to 512 samples per cycle. So even if you have really fast transients, that's difficult to capture using very basic power quality, using the 512 samples per cycle, you will be able to capture waveforms for all of those fast transients and power quality issues that you may be having feeding into your line and affecting your really critical machinery. So now going into a little bit of more details on the ST40 meter. This is a small sized DIN rail mounted revenue meter, and it's got very high accuracy. It's certified to the ANSI C12.2% class accuracy for energy, so it's really accurate. It's developed to very advanced metering technology, just like all of our other meters in the Shark and Nexus metering line. It's obviously giving you your power quality recording. And also this meter also has extensive memory for load profiling. So not just looking at what your energy consumption is right now, you can actually go back and see how much your machinery or apparatus is consuming in terms of energy over last week, last month. You can compare it month to month. You can compare it of May of last year to May of this year. You can capture system events. You can set limits. So for your voltage, for your current, for even your power factor, which is a very good way to measure the efficiency of your equipment, you can actually set limits that if my power factor goes below 0.8, that means my efficiency is going below 80%. I want to know. So the meter through the software will tell you that your voltage is unbalanced, it's going up and down, or your power factor is going down. You can set those types of limits and then get alarms based on those limits. So you can proactively go and make sure that your machinery and equipment is not being affected by bad power being fed into it. In addition to the limits for power quality, the next step up is waveform capture. So for voltage sags and surges and current faults, you can set how and when you want the meter to capture waveforms. So whenever your voltage or current goes above or below a certain trigger, the meter will capture waveforms for your voltage and current on all three phases. And you can use that as an analysis tool, to make sure what the power quality in your facility is. And in terms of communication, all of this information can be delivered via modbus or even with DNP3 serial protocol. So this can be used for industrial applications as well as the utility applications. So for those of you who've attended our Energy PQA webinar, so Energy PQA is our cloud-based software solution. The ST40 is really the perfect addition to the Energy PQA for your sub-metering, energy monitoring information. So if you have a tight space or a tight cabinet, You can just snap on this SD40 because it's a DIN rail mount. And then using the Energy PQA cloud service, you can look at all of your data in terms of energy consumption, in terms of load profiling. You can look at your waveforms, all of that critical information. This is especially important for factories or in universities where there's labs with very critical equipment. Sometimes what we see happening is that if there is bad power being fed into those critical equipment, that affects the efficiency of the equipment. Sometimes there are glitches on the equipment, and that causes downtime or loss of millions of dollars. So you really want to be able to get that granular sort of information, but also you don't have the space to put in a socket meter or a whole panel meter. So in those cases, you would just snap on this SC40, and then this can deliver all of your data over modbus, over DNP3. In terms of communication ports, it has both options if you want to collect the data over an RS485 serial port, or it also comes with a Ethernet port. So you can also collect your data over Ethernet. It's utilizing our Shark series' revenue grade metrology. So it is very accurate to 0.2% class accuracy. And in terms of waveform, again, using the Energy PQA, you will be able to look at all of the waveform information of up to 512 samples per cycle, which is giving you a really great resolution to really look at what the power system reliability of your facility is. So coming to some of the main benefits. So one key benefit of the SD40 is the meter's footprint. If you're facing a challenge where you want to measure your equipment's energy usage, but your control cabinet space is very small, you can DIN rail mount this, and this meets all of the industry standards for accuracy. You can mount it in there. The small footprint will help you install it even into a crowded cabinet without using a lot of space. In terms of size, this is under 5 inches long and wide. Also, it comes with a 300-volt power supply, so you do not need an additional control power transformer. Again, you will be saving space on that. Next, coming to power quality. When you have equipment that's worth millions of dollars and you want to be collecting your reliability information, your power quality information, in addition to your energy measurements, you can have all of the power quality capability in your meter. Even though you have a very tight space, you can get better information so that you can actually take steps to improve your reliability and protect your equipment from bad power being fed in. In addition to the 512 samples per cycle, this meter can also log your harmonic data, your power factor data. So you can look at if there are too many harmonics being fed into your equipment from the utility, or if your power factor is going down, causing your overall system efficiency to go down. So to really have a comprehensive view of what is happening in all of your electrical distribution points, it's really critical that you be able to view data over a period of time. And this meter has the full data logging capabilities for historical trending, limits, alarms, and system events. And it can actually provide you up to 1,000 days of data logging. So you can go years without even taking up the entire memory of the meter. And this 1,000 days of logging will include your energy information, your power quality information, your limit logs. And so if you analyze your data over time and then look at your usage and also your alarm data, you can actually analyze your power usage throughout a facility, and then you can optimize and do cost reduction based on that. If you have an existing building management system and you want to be able to collect data from this meter and then use it to manage your electricity costs, The ST40 meter communicates modbus protocol to any third-party building management system. So if you already have an existing system in place, you can use the ST40 meter and integrate it over the modbus protocol, and you will be able to look at all of the load profiles and look at all of the data. In addition, you can always use the Energy PQA cloud solution, which is a great fit for this meter. You can just go onto your browser, type energypqa.com. There's no software you have to install. It's really easy to use. And right there on your browser, on your laptop, on your phone, you will be able to look at all of the data of how your machine is operating. Now, coming to how different people will be really utilizing the ST40 and the data that's available from it. So if there's a facility, the way the director of a facility will really use the data will differ a little bit than how an engineer will use the data. So a director's main aim would be to reduce their energy costs, improve their reliability, and reduce downtime as much as possible. So they will really use, their team will actually use the data available from the ST40 that will allow them to solve their key challenges. So having more insight into how their individual machinery is performing, and if there's any part quality that is reducing their efficiency, they'll be able to better analyze what their cost is. They can bring visibility to the machine level, not just the overall facility level. It's seen around the industry that a lot of the downtime, actually the 30 to 40% of all commercial downtime is actually part quality related. And this results in $39 billion in loss. Now, the engineers will actually handle all of the data more directly. They're in charge of keeping the system up and running, making sure all of the machines and equipments are running at the best efficiency as possible. So they will be directly looking at the data, looking at the alarms that the meter will be setting off so that they can go back and then make sure that their efficiency is not going down and the part quality events are not harming their machines before it's too late. Coming to some of the technical key features of the ST40. This is a 0.1% stated energy accuracy, and it is certified to the ANSI C12.2% accuracy class. It has 3 assignable historical logs for load profiling, and this is very customizable, I should say. So you can actually go in and set up into the meter how you want those 3 logs to be assigned. So you could set the first log for voltage and current, you could set up the second log for energy, you could set up the third log for power quality. It's really configurable. It has all of the features such as CTPT compensation, transformer and line loss compensation. So this can be used in utility applications as well. And obviously it gives you your multifunction basic metering with your amps, volts, watts, frequency, power factor, every kind of electrical measurement. Coming to the actual hardware of the meter, it does have sealable voltage and current inputs. It also has a watt-hour accuracy pulse in the front for testing the meter to traditional standards. So, you know, over 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, if you want to make sure that your meter is still accurate, you can use the test pulse to measure the accuracy of the meter, and it will be accurate over long periods of time. You can set passwords on the faceplate and the meter reads if you want to for security purposes. The ST40 is also compatible with MV90, so it can be used for utility billing applications. There's an internal system events log for anti-tampering. So if you have security enabled on your meter and then someone goes and tries to tamper with it or break into your meter, the meter will log that as a system event that happened with a timestamp, so that you can later go in and analyze if there was any type of security breach that someone attempted. This is also perfect for distributed energy high density metering. So if you have, a solar panel, a solar farm, and there's no switchboard to put a meter in, again, this is just a DIN rail mount. Again, with solar farms, we see like a lot of harmonics that are being generated using the power quality functions. You can measure the energy being generated, since this is a bidirectional meter. So not just the energy consumed, but it can also monitor the energy being generated by the solar farm, and also give you that additional power quality information with waveforms and harmonics. So this screen is showing some snapshots of what the power quality analysis tools look like. So you can look at your waveform recordings up to 512 samples per cycle. You can look at real-time waveform for your voltage sags or swells, or if you have any current fault events. You can look at your harmonic readings, so the total percent THD on your voltage or your current on your individual phases. You can look at your power factor to make sure your power factor is not too low. We always see that you want to keep your power factor on about a range of 0.8 to 0.9, because that's really a measure of how efficient your system is. And you can also look at your over or under limit conditions. And all of these screenshots are from our basic version of the software. And again, you can use the Energy PQA. You can use your phone, your laptop, your iPad, and just go into your browser and look at all of this data. Is also available on the cloud solution Energy PQA as well. For communication options, this comes with 3 different options. So you have a RS485 serial port or a Ethernet port at the bottom of the meter. And then on the front, you also have a micro USB port. So you can use the USB port for local downloads. When you're using the RS485, you can talk to it over modbus ASCII or modbus RTU. You can also talk to it over DNP3 protocols for integration into other softwares. The installation will be a DIN rail mounted footprint. It's just under 5 inches long and wide, so a very small footprint with a compact design. And also you do not need a controlled power transformer to go with it. The power supply of this meter is 300 volts. So that was all we had on a little bit of sneak peek on this upcoming new latest product, which is the ST40. If you guys have any additional questions, we have a team full of engineers who can help you. You can reach out to us at sales@electroind.com. If you have any applications or any questions about any of our metering products, we can always discuss with you and provide you with what would be the best possible fit for your application. So with that, I'm going to end the webinar and go over to Eric for any questions that we may have coming in.